G'day guys, Skits here, and welcome to a Road to a 5-Star Team episode 2. And basically, here's the first EPL month we've got here. The first game is an away game against Tottenham, which is going to be really hard to win. The second game is a home game against QPR, which should be a really easy victory. And then we've got an away game against Blackburn, and then we've got the transfer deadline date right at the end of it. So it's going to be a pretty interesting month. But as you can see here, guys, I decided to hire a scout to try and look for some youth players because Everton is a pretty alright team, but we could do with some youth players coming in and trying to build them up. So I decided to actually just go for Australia and see if we could get some really awesome Australian players because it's a pretty cheap area to go to, and I figured it would just be cool to get some Aussie players. But anyway, guys, as you can see here, Distance says that he's starting the season a bit slow or something like that. And basically, either way, I'm going to be starting him because he's a really good player and we really need him there. Everton don't have the best defensive line, so we need really all we can get. And yet again, as you can see here, I get another offer for Tim Cahill. It's a little bit too cheap for me at the moment because Tim Cahill does really well in our team. He scored in the 90th minute last game, so I figured I'd keep him in. But if they do offer more, I might actually consider selling him because he is a bit old. So anyway, we'll see how we go with that. But anyway, to our first match of the EPL, which is against a very strong side, which is Tottenham. Obviously, they got Bale, who's an amazing player. They got Dawson, they got King, they got Adebayor, they got Van der Vaart. They got a very strong side, so it's going to be definitely a very tough game to win. Nonetheless, we did start off very positively with Usman or Osman or whatever the hell is. Unlucky not to even hit the target there. I was hoping to maybe just curl it around the keeper, but then they get straight in the attack with Asuakoto, I believe it was, and we do actually bring him down with quite a reckless challenge. Maybe should have been a yellow card. Nonetheless, Van der Vaart brings it in for, I think it was King, and as you can see, quite a great volley goal there. I was quite disappointed to let that goal go through. That was quite bad defense, and Howard really didn't have much of a chance there, so it wasn't really his fault. Then we take them down again with quite a good tackle. I decided to just put that in. They do a nice little through ball through to, I think it was Modric or something like that. He crosses the ball and they hit the crossbar, which is completely unlucky on their part. Then we get another opportunity from Cahill, hits the post, which is just extremely unlucky, really unlucky not to equalise at that point. Then they do send in another one, and as you can see, that was quite a reckless, quite horrible defence, to be honest. But it ends the score with, the ends the half, sorry, with 2-0 to Tottenham. So we're not doing too great at the moment, but as you can see, the stats aren't, too dominant on their part. Anyway, I decided to get some fresh legs on, so I decided to take off Rodwell and put Pienaar on. And this is straight from the kickoff, guys. This is quite a crazy way to start off a half. They just passed it around very well to Gareth Bale, who we gave away quite a reckless, pathetic penalty. And they do luckily miss, and then a horrible touch there to send the ball out for a corner. Then we get a really good opportunity for Jelavic, who just sends it wide. Probably should have done better in the circumstances. Then Cahill gets on a beautiful run and slots it in the bottom left corner or bottom right corner, depending on which way you're looking at it. And their keeper had no chance there. Quite an awesome goal from Cahill. So at this point, I'm thinking I might actually be able to bring this game back if I play well. Get quite a reckless challenge there, and Adebayor nearly seals it, nearly wraps it up for Tottenham. They get an awesome through ball, and once again, I think it was Van der Vaart just straying it wide. Probably should have not equalised. Probably should have just sealed it. Then Usman or Osman or whatever the hell his name is gets on another beautiful run on the left flank, sends it into Jelavic, who typically just a beautiful header finish in the 75th minute. At this point, it's 2-2, and I'm hoping that I might even be able to get the win out of this game. But 2-2 as it stands, and then Jelavic gets another opportunity, and boom, straight into the goals, straight into the crossbar, the 89th minute. That is quite an amazing comeback from Everton, and I'm really happy with that result. They did get another opportunity here just to equalise once again. Sorry, I just lost my words there. But that's the way the game ends. Quite an amazing match of football. 3-2 to Tottenham. I get a little trophy there. And as you can see, the stats, I brought them back so much from how they were at halftime. So really happy with that game. And once again, as I said, a really great game of football. And then out of nowhere, QPR offered $10.5 million for Cahill. And I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't resist it. I had to say yes. I had to get rid of him. I do have a lot of good alternatives to him, and I figured that with all the money that I got from him, I could probably buy a better striker anyway. And the thing is, he's quite old, and he really isn't that good, so I decided to get rid of him. But funnily enough, our first game is actually against QPR, which is Cahill's team that he just moved to. As you can see, he's starting, and I decided to get Pienaar on instead of him and Neville on instead of Hibbert, just for some fresh legs. And I'm quite confident coming into this game against QPR because they're not the best team in the world. And I start the game very well with Dara. Sorry, Dara? What the hell? I nearly called him Diarrhea. But did a really great job there of following up his own shot. Really great work. QPR did have another opportunity, but notice that there's only 2 opportunities in the whole half. Quite a boring half, to say the least. And as you can see, the stats here are just quite even. Not really much has gone on in this game. It's been rather boring game, to be honest, but I decided to make some fresh legs, see if Gibson could do anything instead of Rodwell, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Bobby Zamora gets on a beautiful run in the start of the first half, and that is just a class finish. Howard had no chance there, and honestly, that was all that happened in that game. It was one of the boringest games I've ever played, and I just played quite horribly, and honestly, I really shouldn't have lost 3 points against QPR, but, it is what it is. I have to advance and see how I go. Now here, quite an interesting thing happens. I actually get 2 offers for my right back, T. Hibbert, and the thing is, he's only ranked 74 in this game, and I figure I could probably try and get more from these 2 clubs. As you can see, one of them is trying to get him for 2,800,000, and the other one 2,600,000. And what I decided to do is stall one of them and no one of them, just so that just in case one of them didn't want to end up buying him, I could just go with the other one. So either way, I'd be getting money for him. And then, as you can see here, I decided to buy Essien with all the money we had, and I figured he would be just a really, really good addition to the team, because we needed someone who would just be kind of big and strong and kind of have a big impact on the team, and someone that could just run through the field and be a playmaker. And Essien is from my favourite club, which is Chelsea, and he's the coolest guy. So I couldn't resist buying him. Pretty good offer as well. Only about 20 million, I believe, I paid for him, which is pretty good in my books. And as you can see here, I'm just changing him for, I believe I changed him for and I think it was really a good idea that I ended up selling Cahill, just because now I've got so much money to spend, and Essien's only like 28, I think, so it's a really good addition to the team. So now our third and final match for this episode is a away game against Blackburn. Quite a decent side they've got, actually, Blackburn. Across the years, they've actually gone quite well, actually. Their last 3 records haven't been too good. They lost against Wolves and Aston Villa, but in the same way, our last 3 hasn't been too good either. But I start the game quite positively, as usual, with, I think it's Yelovich, actually. I think that's how to pronounce his name. But they hit back straight away with quite an amazing volley. But yeah, guys, my pronunciation probably sucks, and I am sorry about that. But they get a really good volley shot there. Quite horrible defense, though. They really weren't marking him, and Howard has no chance. And that's how the half ended. Quite an uneventful half, but, I mean, that goal was really spectacular. Just to be able to control it and just get into that corner was just really good effort. Then they get another really great opportunity, Blackburn, and probably should have scored that, really. Once again, horrible defense. I get my own little opportunity here from Diarra, and really just doesn't do well in the finish, but honestly, Jajilka, is that how I pronounce his name? But it's just horrible defense there, and they score another goal, 2-0 down, and it's quite, tough to catch up from here. But on his debut, Essien gets a beautiful goal, and a really important goal as well, because at this point it's 2-1, I can definitely hit back. But speaking of which, yeah, horrible defense. Modest just gets straight past my whole team and just, really poor. Howard there with a beautiful save. I just thought I'd add that in. And then here, Yelovich, I'm pretty sure is actually how I pronounce his name, gets a really good opportunity. And then I don't know why Howard's up, because that's just a consolation goal. Doesn't mean much at all. In the 90th minute, Distance scores, and unfortunately doesn't mean too much. But that's how the game ends, unfortunately. We did lose 3 points, but it was a really good game, I thought. And, I didn't mind losing to Blackburn. But anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in episode 3. Bye.